Now, it seems that as a nation, we're starting to splash out on sustainability, spending 16K making our homes more energy efficient. As somebody who knows a thing or two about buying the right house is property expert and TV presenter Scarlette Douglas, who joins me now. Good afternoon.
Hello, Jason. How's it going?
All good here. I hope we find you well.
Yes, I'm very good, thank you. I'm looking forward to talking about this topic because it's one that we don't really discuss enough. And I think if we did, a lot of people wouldn't make so many costly mistakes.
So, yeah, it is about trying to get it right, get the balance right between what you want is sustainable, but equally not paying over the top for it as well.
Exactly. So basically, Hive have recently done some new research, and it states that a lot of people are overlooking how energy efficient or sustainable a property is. So 75% of people will be wowed by the curb appeal and don't actually think about how well that property is going to work for them when it comes to energy and saving money, whether it's monthly, in the long run, in the interim. It's really important that we start thinking about these things.
Absolutely. I mean, because when you are looking at your home, one of the big things is the energy efficiency of the walls. What they're letting through is a double glazing good. It might be beautifully clad on the outside, but is that keeping heat in, or is it actually getting damp and moving heat out?
Exactly. And do you know what's really interesting is 35% of people don't actually even ask to see the EPC report. And I think it's so important to ask that. That's like top of my list of one of the things to do because this is going to tell you a lot about the property. Like you said, where is the heat escaping from? Is there a lot of heat escaping? Am I going to have to be spending a lot of money to put certain things right? So many people have bought somewhere and then afterwards regretted buying somewhere because they're spending nearly £17,000 having to fix certain situations and issues that they hadn't thought about or considered when they first went to view the property.
Yeah, because I mean, you need a good quality boiler. Are you thinking about whether that's actually able to run on some of the more energy efficient methods? Is it a combi boiler? Do you even take a look in the loft to see what's going on up there?
Absolutely look in the loft. Get that ladder, get up there, be safe, of course. Or you could also just ask your estate agent what insulation is there in the loft. Now, if it's foam insulation, you definitely want to speak to your mortgage lenders about that because a lot of them won't lend on properties that do have foam insulation. So you might be thinking, oh, it's great, it's insulated. If it's foam, could be a costly issue to put right. So definitely ask the questions. No question is too silly, by the way. I always say that. Yes, okay, estate agents should impart information, but not all of them do. 91% of people believe that they actually would be giving that info forward, but we are buying the properties for ourselves. You're buying it for you. So you need to make sure you ask all the right questions and do as much research as you can to make sure that you are safeguarding your future property.
And where do we stand on cavity wall insulation these days? Because that's been in and out of vogue for a while, hasn't it?
It has been. And again, I think these are things that we need to really look into because there are lots of different ones. Some are great, some aren't so great. But once you start kind of digging deep and finding out what's working, what governments will and won't allow, you'll work out what's best for you. Also, properties are all different. They're made from different materials. There are certain cavity wall insulations that will work for some that might not work for others. So again, as much information that you can find out yourself is great. There are places that you can go, hivehome.com. They've got lots of information on there about certain products that they have that they can offer forward. And I think once you are more informed, you can make better decisions moving forward.
Yeah, and when we are looking at these homes, I mean, people are looking for a driveway to start off with at 48%.
Yes.
That's the most important one. And I'm surprised that at number 35 on the list, the other side of the charts, is a thatched roof. I mean, that's the last thing I think I'd want on a house is a thatched roof. I mean, it wouldn't be in keeping with the outlook of my home anyway. But even so, that just says to me, 10 years' time, I'm buying a new roof.
Well, yeah, exactly. But the figure that I love the most of all of the stats is 33% of people are looking for a walk-in wardrobe. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of clothes and I would love to have a walk-in wardrobe, but that means I'm overlooking other issues in that property that are maybe more important. Even people that are looking at open plan spaces, 35% of people want that open plan living between the kitchen and the dining room, which aesthetically is beautiful. It's great if you're a very social person and you're hosting people. But also, that's going to cost quite a lot to heat that space. And whilst you're looking at it and thinking, wow, I love this island or the peninsula and I love how open plan it is, you then might be missing out on the fact that all the appliances that are coming with the sale of this property aren't A-rated appliances. They're not energy efficient. That's going to be an extra cost to replace the washing machine or the oven. So definitely start looking beyond the beauty of a place and start knuckling down and asking the right questions.
Yeah, and things like having there's the solar panels on the roof. I mean, more houses are going to be bought with existing solar panels. You do not take them with you, but you need to know things like are they on a lease? Are they actually owned as part of the property? All these things should be in the reports you're getting via your estate agent.
Yes, they should be. But if they're not, ask away. Definitely ask the question because, like you said, some solar panels, people don't realize this, could have been bought outright, so that's it, they're there, or they're on a lease. You need to start finding these sort of things out. You need to start asking the right questions. You need to start working out exactly how well the solar panels are doing for the property, budgeting well, monitoring certain things. There are lots of schemes out there now that are going to help you with costs of these products. You know, I've actually have a potential for you to get a solar panel from them. And depending on how much you want to spend, we're looking at anywhere from like 5 grand upwards, you know. You've got to get the battery as well, but then they have certain deals when it comes to the tariffs. And there are so many things that are going to make it worthwhile. Even with boilers, the governments have schemes at the moment when it comes to either boiler or heat pumps where you can be getting a grant of around £7,500. So there's a lot of money that is going to be spent out, but also there's quite a bit of money that you can get back that's going to make it a little bit more cost effective.
Yeah, and it is when you are buying a home, those things to sort of have in your head before you sign on the dotted line. Find out what's actually in the lease or freehold. What limitations might there be for you putting in something like a heat exchange pump, and then make sure that you can get the most out of it. Also, look at what's there. Find out about the way in which something like underfloor heating may be piped to make sure that you can control each room individually. You want to have a high thermostat in every room so it does what it does, and you make sure that you have a system that's there, or know what it's going to cost you when you do move in.
Exactly, because you're saying all that, Jason. I'm sure a lot of listeners are thinking, oh my God, that's so much to think about. That's going to cost so much money. But we have to think about future-proofing our homes. If we are going to be spending a lot of time in these places, we're going to be spending many years there. Of course, we want it to be aesthetically pleasing. We want it to be beautiful. We want it to have that wow factor. But there are other certain situations and issues that we need to also consider and think about. 70% of people have said that they would spend a lot more on a place that already has these appliances and home tech products in store and in place because they know it's going to save them money in the long run. So let's really start thinking about it. Let's start working out our list of priorities and let's start budgeting for how we can improve our future energy efficient homes.
Absolutely, but you also want to be looking out for brands in these things that you know and you can trust and that are upgradable too. Some
Yes.
products develop and evolve. Others, I've been to some of the home shows and they were selling home entertainment and heating systems and everything that links up. But you're looking at this thinking, hang on, they're not. They may be amazing now, but in 5 years' time, there's no way for me to update this. There's nothing sitting behind it. There's no app there that is controllable and is going to be usable on my latest smartphone. So you need
Yeah.
to think about that, and that's where a name like Hive can make the difference.
Exactly. They are at the forefront of innovation. They know what they're doing. They have great sister companies. You know, they partner up with British Gas. So there are a lot of things there that show you they know what they're doing. They have been in this game for years. They are trustworthy. Definitely speak to them. Definitely find out. Go on their website, hivehome.com if you want to find out more information. But without a doubt, you want to go with a company that is trusted, that you know you're going to be safe with. And Hive is exactly that.
Absolutely, and we're looking back at this list, which you can get the full list on their website as well. But I mean, I like the fact that pantries are quite important to people. Having reclaimed wooden floors, period features, pretty radiators. I mean, yeah, I'll go underfloor heating. That's where I'm at on that. But
Right.
it is these important things. A Victorian radiator can set off a home, but you need to know how much it's going to cost to heat that big cast iron beast.
Exactly. And we love a beautiful fireplace. These old Victorian homes have these great fireplaces or beautiful tiles on the floor. But how can we then make those well insulated? How can we cover the fireplace? We don't have that draft coming through. These
Mhm.
features are great. And 35% of people are looking at these features and buying a property off the basis of that. But they're not then thinking, oh, hang on a second. There might have been a reason why all these things were covered up all those years ago. And how can I now improve it without covering it up so that I'm going to be spending out less money per month?
Absolutely, yeah. And then maybe keep the fireplace downstairs, take out the chimney and the flue because you're not using it, unless, of course, you've got a wood burning stove. But and do all that, seal the house, get a heat exchanger in the loft, and yeah, make sure that you can move the air around without losing that valuable warmth you've spent money on.
There you go, Jason. It sounds like you've done it before.
It is something to think about, though, isn't it? You do need to look at all of these things.
Definitely, definitely. And it may sound daunting, but if you head to their website, there's so much information there and just take it bit by bit, piece by piece, and it will make a lot of sense.
Absolutely. And can we see you working on anybody's homes and getting the right place in the near future?
Yes, you can. So I'll be at the Ideal Home Show with my brother on the 21st of March, talking about obviously sustainability, property renovations. Also, we have our brand new series of Worst House on the Street. Series 3 comes out on the 2nd of April. We have another series, Can't Sell, Must Sell, that comes out in July. We've got Bake Off as well in March. Basically, Jason, you're going to be seeing a lot of me this year. So hopefully you like this space.
No complaints at all. It's an amazing face, some brilliant advice, and of course, we're going to find out how well you can cook too. So this is going to see whether you've got.
Exactly.
Is that oil powered Garga in your kitchen going to make a difference to that sort of thing? Or are you headed off with the Neff hide and slide they have in the tent? Who knows?
Hey, who knows, eh? You'll have to wait and see.
That's the way we like it. Scarlett Douglas, lovely to have a chat with you. Thank you for joining us, and happy hunting around homes and helping people get their dream home ready for them to live in and chill out in.
Thank you so much, Jason. Take care.